No. Oh, 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 oh. Surrounded by sleepwalkers and NPC, they all around us. But I be like, why can't you see? Empty seat, I'm gently mean. My soul's clean, no NPCs on the team. Living in this reality like an empty dream. Yeah. They walk among us, they try to run us. Yeah. Empty souls in the deep roads, up mind in the line, hive mind, only thinking on one side. Believing lies, war on the mind, one of a kind, mankind, undivine, walking dead, yeah. Blinded in the third eye, eating GMO foods, especially that red dye. No surprise, brain shut off, totally blind, like closed blinds. Dark and empty like an apartment, no lights on. Empty always echoes in the stairs, brain dead. Look into the eyes, they stare. Look at them hard, no soul is there. Eyes glare, emptiness lies deep. Hollow vacant space, dead and empty street is where their soul meets. Their minds on repeat, reoccurring cycles. Yeah, man in the mirror like Michael, no action, no questions asking. Just walking, leaking dead batteries, leaking acid. No cares, living in complete fear. Sleepwalkers and NPCs near. Surrounded by sleepwalkers and NPCs, they all around us. But I be like, why can't you see? Empty seats, I'm gently mean. My soul's clean, on two seats on the seat. Living in this reality like an empty dream. No NPCs on the team. Living in this reality like an empty dream. Yeah. Sometimes my soul cries as I look into the eyes of the sleeping masses, believing all the lies as time passes. Walking drones, looking at their phones, prisoners in their own homes. Wi-Fi routers and microwaves on the counter. Cook brainwaves, mush minds, no thoughts, no knowledge, no intelligence, no empathy. Social media has reshaped their identity. I have to keep in mind that they're not my enemy. Don't get next to me, but I have a lot of empathy. It's knowledge, wisdom was sent to me while their mind is racing. My mind is at a high elevation. The words and lyrics is not for the shaking. Scared, the weak of the forsaken. Souls taken by the system, programs in them you can hear when they speak. No wisdom, no light, no fight. Just NPC sleepwalking light. Surrounded by sleepwalkers and NPCs, they all around us. But I be like, why can't you see? Empty seats, I'm gently mean. My soul's clean, no NPCs on the team. Living in this reality like an empty dream. No NPCs on the team. Living in this reality like an empty dream. The world is full of lies, hidden in disguise. It's made for you and I, all for humanity's demise. The elite, they despise. That's why you had to learn to read between the lines. Fake mainstream media guys, it ain't no surprise. They all full of lies, news propaganda at its best. Your thoughts, they will test. Executives with the text, subliminals with the hex. Boots on your neck, round and round the clock, they hope you forget. Mental neglect, running psychological operations all across the nation. Total mind devastation without any hesitation. It's time to unplug and sit down in a meditation. Slow the persuasion, deprogram, disengage. Break out the cage and change your ways. Your mind is stuck in days. Listen to your conscience and know what to say, because they're testing you each and every way. No dismay, no play, stuck in the maze. Break free, open your eyes so you can see. Whoa. The third eye, the sun sink. Illuminate heaven's gate before it's too late. High frequency vibrations will set you straight. No, America's not great, it's full of hate. But remember, get out before it's too late. Surrounded by sleepwalkers and NPCs, they all around us. But I be like, why can't you see? Empty seats, I'm gently mean. My soul's clean, no NPCs on the team. Living in this reality like an empty dream. No NPCs on the team. Living in this reality like an empty dream.
What's up, everybody? Back with another video. Hope everybody's doing good on this Friday. Figured I'd go live for a little while. I was going to go live earlier because I was checking out a video and it amped me up. But I don't know, I ate some lunch and then I got tired. So here I am, 11:40 on a Friday. I'm sure most people are enjoying their day off, their night off, to unwind and suffocate themselves with escapist shit, which I get. So ain't nothing wrong with that because I do the same fucking thing. So, um, yeah, shout out to all you guys. I see people coming in and coming out, coming in and coming out. It's more, it's more prevalent people doing that nowadays. Coming in, coming out, coming in, coming out, because they're getting their dopamine hit. You know, it's worse than ever. You know, people doom scrolling. You know, addictive scrolling. People need that hit. Just keep fucking scrolling, looking for a video, scrolling, looking for a video. I mean, that's what people are doing. So if I'm not talking about what somebody wants to hear that stimulates their mind, then they're just gonna, it just is what it is. And it's done by design. I mean, I don't care. I understand the program. You know, I understand the program real well, and yeah, I'm not gonna be talking much because I'm just gonna play a video, and I'm gonna stop it, talk about it, play it, stop it, talk about it, because you know it's basically what I've been talking about for so many years, and packaged so people can understand it at any level. You know, it's what I've been talking about for years, so anybody can understand it, and I'm gonna keep playing it. And these are the realest words coming right now in this very time, because it's undeniable. It's what's exactly happening. You could see it all around us, and he's actually talking about everything that I've been through, okay, and everything y'all seen, and you see every day still on the internet, and society. I mean, it just is what it is, and you got to realize, you know, people not going to click on this video because it's Friday. It's Friday, and people ain't trying to hear that it's over. Your reality is, this reality here is over, and people don't want to hear it. So this ain't gonna be popular, because that's what I'm talking about every time I come up on here. You know, because very few people are even awake. It's very slim pickings. You know, very slim pickings. Very, very few. Very small number of people are awakened. Okay, that's it. There's no mass awakening. There's no none of that shit. I'm gonna wait till at least about 6, 7 people come in, because I'm gonna talk about the auditing community, right? We already knew this was coming. We already knew the auditing shit was coming. I knew that. I told y'all that. I told y'all that probably 7, 8 years ago. You know, I told y'all about the auditing community about 7, 8 years ago, and it just is what it is. And it fits in, the auditing thing fits into every single thing that I've been saying that's that's happening, that's being demonstrated, the lack of people to come together, you know. And I don't play the video, and if nobody wants to listen to it, I don't care. Just tune out, keep it moving. As long as one person sees it, that's all I ever cared about. One person. That's it. But I don't know if anybody could hear me. I wish it would come up, but I don't know if anybody can even hear me. And again, nothing's getting better. It's worse than the last time I went live. You know, people are gone, man. It's people are gone. When I mean gone. Talking. Shout out to my brother Makai that I was talking to. this past week. You know, I mean, we were talking about it too. He's done. He's done. You know, thank God that's a real flesh and blood brother that that is with me. You know, like we on the same level of understanding. We've been through the whole rat race and did a full circle and realized we done. It's done. You know, it's done. It's over. And that's the truth about it. You know, it's the truth about it. And there's a formula to this shit. You know, it's a big time formula to this. Could somebody, it says, now it says three, could somebody shoot a finger, a middle finger, a high, something? So let me know y'all can hear me. Somebody let me know if y'all can hear me. I got the comments on, yes. I just redid the StreamYard, so it seems a little different for some odd reason. So I want to make sure it's right. Make sure y'all can hear me. All I see is the numbers keep going in and coming out, going to zero. Go to 3, go to 4, go to 5, go to 0. Go to 2, go to 1, go to 0. That's all I see. And can't nobody shoot a comment. I'm doing this on all the different channels, and nobody can comment. Nobody's commenting. I just want to make sure y'all can hear me. I don't want to go to my other phone and do all that other shit. But nobody is dropping a comment. So I don't even know if it works. It's working. StreamYard's live viewer comments show up on StreamYard's. This is an example to comment to show on screen. I don't get what's going on. I don't know if anybody can hear me. You know, comments. It's on, yeah, all the destinations. So me to tell me it's only 3 people on a Friday night. That's fucking sad. But I know nobody gets the alerts. But it would be nice if somebody could actually hear me. Can anybody hear me? All right, fuck it. I'm just gonna go look at my other phone so I can just keep it going. You know, go on here. Get on, switch to another account. All this other crazy shit. Find out if I can hear my own damn self. Let's see. Yep, I can hear myself, so I can talk now. Don't matter anybody fucking listening. I can talk now. Then I just let the video play, and then I'll talk my shit, and hopefully people will hear it, and then the other people get mad and go to your dopamine channels, your dopamine hit channels that feed your, I don't know, the truth or addiction or whatever the fuck that shit is that is put out here deliberately. So shout out to anybody who gets it. I always rock out with y'all. But there we go. There's thank you, Kimmy. Shout out to you. Thank you. All I need is one person. Thank you so much. You know. So yeah, it's just Okay, I don't even know where to start. I don't even know where to start. It's just you right now. We can see you can see all of this stuff. Like there's no coincidence that this stuff is all happening all at the same time. Like now the auditing community, right? But I don't want to talk about what the auditing community is talking about. I want to talk about the auditing community on it fits in with everything else that I've been telling y'all. There's no community. There's no truthers, right? Man, the speed limit's 45. There's no truthers. There's nobody coming together. There's none of that shit. That shit is done by design. I'm gonna play. I can't articulate it to where it's undeniable, and you could do your research beyond there better than the one guy from Middle Nation. I can't do it. Sorry. So I'm gonna play it, and y'all will resonate because the shit resonates with me. Like I mean, like this is what I've been saying. You know, this is what I've been saying. Like I can't put it in words sometimes, but this is what I've been saying. Okay, the truth community was manufactured. It's fake. Is there some real people that are awake? Yeah. Is there some real information out there? Yeah. All right. But it's a different. They did something. All right. And it's this cult shit. Because the cult mentality is every fucking where. All right. It's everywhere. But it's an online type of mentality. All right. Which is actually dangerous as fuck. All right. But anyways. All right. So if y'all haven't heard, the auditing community, right? It's not the auditing community. In New York City, NYPD, and I was gonna go there, but I was like, I was gonna actually call up fake money, be like, yo, you wanna go to this thing? But it was kind of like, I don't understand how the fuck something could be like that and then really like I mean I get it. I mean like this is how you understand that people are in a fucking bubble and don't know what's going on anywhere. They don't know what's going on in their neighborhood, but they want to talk about all the shit going on in society and in the world and everywhere, but don't even know what's going on in their own fucking areas. You know? Like it's mad auditors in New York State, New York City. All right? But here we go. You got a fucking NYPD, Suffolk County, right? That at the fucking police are having a protest. All right? The police having a fucking protest about, being harassed and all that shit. All right. And first, it involves First Amendment auditing, right? But I'm about to give you the truth. All right. Because this is what I told y'all. You ain't never seen me. It's only one person that I know, okay, that y'all know that ain't never adopted no shit. All right. I may have dabbled in the shit, but you always see me come full circle, come back around. You always have. It's only one other person that I ever fucking besides my brother that I know that I grew up with, okay? But there's only one other person on in these realms, and y'all already know that is not locked into that cult mentality, has not locked into a belief system. All right? And you already know who it is the only brother, the only one, all right, other than myself, and y'all already know this, that ain't locked into some shit. Locked into, we may say what we believe, but we ain't locked. We always, if you turn the shit on, it's gonna be something else. You turn on, we're gonna be talking about this. I've been talking about a lot of this lately, but you already know. Y'all been rocking with me for years. You already know that I'm always talking about something else. Always. Ain't never been attached to shit. You know? It's the only one right here. That's it. Only one that I know. It might be some other people out there, but Y'all know what I'm talking about. Now, here's the thing, like this auditing community, right? Right? Now you have fucking police officers protesting to get a law to create a buffer zone on people. Like what? Like it should have been every fucking auditor rallying and just fucking, I mean, seriously, rallying. Slow down right here. Next speed limit. Got to slow. So it should have been, you know, they should have been rallying and advertising and, you know, like all these auditors, like there's so many auditors, like literally, there's so many of these auditors, right? But it was only like 4 or 5 auditors there. That's it. That's all there was. 4 or 5. It was Leroy Truth. The ones that I understand. Only people I know is Leroy Truth and auditing Erie County. Shout out to auditing Erie County. You know, he's not to me he's not an auditor. You know, he does a lot of shit different, which is like what's needed. You know, it's what's needed, right? So, anyways, you got all these auditors, but yet only like, well, I think there was some other thing. I was watching Long Island Audits thing, and that's how I heard it from Leroy True when he was live, right? I saw that come up because I saw police protest. Like, what the fuck is this? Police protesting? What are police protesting? And they're protesting, you know, that part. But here's the thing, right? Um, you know, you had auditing Erie County and him there, and they didn't even let them in. Like they didn't even let them in, right? But you have all of you guys know how many auditors there's like we don't you wouldn't even know them all. But why weren't they all there? That is something that they should be there because they get that law passed there. They already have one in Florida, right? They get that law passed there, it's going to start going all over the place, right? Now, the thing about that law, that bill, is really not directed towards them, okay? Because they're all like, oh, it's just because the order. It's not. You know what it's for? It's for them fucking leftist lunatic revolutionaries, right? Because they're talking about doxing and all that stuff. I'm like, where the fuck do these audit? I'm telling you, this is what I'm talking about, man. When you get into a cult mentality and you get locked into your own belief and your own bubble, and it's all about you. And shout out to the auditors, ain't nothing wrong with that, but they get caught up in that me. I'm this, I'm that power, right? That power that separates. They think it comes together. No, it's actually separates, right? It's that power, right? So they don't know that. No, it's not because of you guys, right? Because they're talking about violence. And then they're saying, all the auditors, I saw Long Island audit saying, I've never seen any auditor. You're right, I haven't either. But you're not listening and reading what they're talking about in what they're demonstrating. They're talking about those leftist fucking lunatics, all right, with the ICE shit and all that other shit, right? And the police, when they go to protest, always a protest in New York City, always. And it's liberal fucking heaven in New York City. And that's what they do. They have the camera all in the cop's fucking face. They're always shouting and screaming, getting close, bumping and touching. They be doing way too much shit. And this is the result. What you're seeing is the result. It's not for the auditors specifically. They're talking about that. Does it entail and overlap to the auditors? Yep, it sure does. But it's strictly coming from those fucking lunatics, which y'all should know that shit. I mean, you know this is what they're doing. Like the whole ICE shit with all those protests, who the fuck you think is there with them to stop the protests and keep it in line and all that? The police. And that's why they're getting doxxed. And that's why they're being, they talk about the cameras in their face and they're doing all the other shit. The liberals are into that shit is doxing shit is a liberal fucking lunatic ass bullshit that they be doing. Y'all know there's all the liberals that y'all see on these fake ass truther liberals. They all do the same shit, doxing and stupid shit like that. They love that. They ain't no different, man. I told you, you're dealing with a fucking program that was put out here, all right? And it's doing nothing. It ain't doing, it's done. It done nothing but destroy. Even when something looked like it was a good thing, it was destroyed. All deliberately done. And again, these leftist, loony bin, fucking lunatic motherfuckers, right, with that stupid shit, all that protest and shit, and the cops and all, that's what they're talking about, man. They're not talking about the auditors. They're talking about those ones, because those ones be like, I'm pressed, and they be all up in there with the camera and this shit. I've been in those fucking protests documenting them stupid motherfuckers, and they do that shit. Who the fuck puts a camera in somebody's face? Like right up in their face and like, oh, it's screaming and incoherent dumb shit. I don't even like auditors that do that shit. That is ignorance on high levels. That's just straight flat out stupidity. Yeah, if officers say something smart, yeah, you clap back, say whatever back. But be intelligent with your shit. Be intelligent. It's good, cuts. Be intelligent. So this whole auditor thing fits into exactly what I've been talking about. There's no unity. There's no community. Everybody's in their own bubble. Everybody's self-centered. It's all about me. Oh, I can't link with you. I don't like you. The auditors, that's all they do is fucking fight. A lot of them, all they do is fight. Oh, you're bigger than me, or oh, you're smaller than me, or oh, you don't get money, views, the ego shit, the ego tripping. That shit is all done by design through this social engineering shit. It's all done by design. Why you think they paid? Come on, man, y'all don't understand. Talk about, and you got a motherfucker that for years talk about paid trolls and paid agents. What the fuck? Come on, man. How can't anybody see this? They pay motherfuckers good to go out there and do their fucking job. Break down society, desensitize people, demoralize, get people divided, get people fighting. They're working for them, unbeknownst to a lot of them. I mean, it is what it is. Do they educate on the way? Yes, but they don't give a fuck. Their job is to destroy this shit and to get you to help and go along with it. And they're going to pay good to do it because money ain't nothing to these motherfuckers. You be wondering like how a motherfucker like auditing America, get all these views and shit. A dumb, stupid motherfucker. A dumbass motherfucker who doesn't know shit about anything and they pay him good to do it. But it'd be a guy like this guy on the screen, me and other people who just come here. We don't bother nobody. We just come drop some nuggets here and there, talk about this, talk about that. Oh, they don't even, it ain't like we're trying to monetize it, but they don't even want us to be seen by anybody. We was cut out long before the shit even started. You know what I'm saying? There ain't never been one, cuts. There ain't never been no truth community. It was all illusion. It ain't never been one. Because the motherfuckers that got involved in a truth community don't even have any morals or principles within themselves. So the shit was already going to fluster from the start. And I realized that going out. I realized that. I'm like, damn, I carry a certain understanding, but these motherfuckers ain't got this understanding. They going to get me fucked up or they going to fuck themselves up or whatever the fuck. That's why I always made it clear when I went anywhere, I'm with me. Fuck you mean and my kids and shit. That's it. That's who I'm with. Or like, for somebody that had the same mindset. No, we ain't that. That ain't me. I don't do that. You know? But if a person don't even have any morals or principles within themselves and go out there, no, that shit was a failure from the start. That's why you see what you saw. You know? And that's just how it is, man. That's why motherfuckers can't come together. And this video I'm gonna play, he says the same shit. How this motherfucker know this shit? That sometimes I think I'd be fucking crazy and shit I be talking about like maybe I'm wrong. I be thinking to myself, maybe I'm wrong. But when I hear somebody articulate it, explain the formula and everything in between, I'm like, well there it is. Well shit. There it is. He's explaining it fucking for me. I just happen to dumb it down for myself and other people. You know? There is no truth community, ain't never was a truth community, and ain't never gonna be a truth community. And the brother on the screen told me that long ago. And I ain't fucking listen. I had to find out the hard way, and he was 100% right. Wise was 100,000 fucking percent right. He put it in a different way, like, yo, watch those dudes, or watch this, or watch that. But deep down inside, that was the energy telling me you wasting your motherfucking time. You wasting your motherfucking time. You know? You wasting your time. And now I understand as I see, you know, we're the Titanic on the bottom of the motherfucking ocean with an air pocket. We only got so much air and that's it. Once the air run out, it's it. Sorry. It just is what it is. I'm around society every fucking day. It's gone. It's a wrap. For this place, it's a wrap, man. You know? What's good, man? What's good, Flink? You know? Good to see everybody rolling in. Shout out to all you guys. So, so this auditing thing, I'm like, yo, how the fuck? This at New York City, NYPD, the biggest fucking police force in the fucking world, damn near. I think it's the biggest police force in the world, okay? And they're protesting, and it was nobody fucking there. Like, what? All these auditors, what are y'all doing? That goes to show you they ain't doing it for what you think they doing it from. The brothers that's there, those are different. I shout outs to them. Can I get it? There's a few that missed it. That you know, I take what they might be busy doing something, but for something like that, shit, ain't no excuse, man. And the flip side of that, fuck the auditors. Not fuck the auditors, but fuck the auditors. What about the people that follow them? Goes to show you. I tell people all the fucking time. It's like there's one dude in Rochester. He got a lot of people following him, and they're all cheering for him and like, love, yeah, you do all this, and he's out there putting his neck on the line, doing all this shit. When he shows up somewhere, fucking 3 people come out of like 15,000. And here we go with the auditors. You got, I don't know how many auditors. I know 2 that were there. Another one I didn't know about, and I think there was another one I don't never heard of them before. But all I know is Auditors County got a lot of followers. Leroy Truth got a lot of followers. And I'm sure maybe I didn't see auditing Erie County's videos. Maybe he didn't promote it like, yo, look, we need to be down here, whatever. But even if you weren't going, like Long Island Auto, all the other people, like you should have made a video like, yo, we should be there. But guess what? I'm just saying this is what should have happened because I'm giving y'all the example of what we've been dealing with for 15 fucking years. A cog in the wheel, no man's land, nothing. We've been into the nothing, the void. We've been put in the void. We were better off fucking going the political route. Imagine if everybody who thought they were awake and got in all this shit went the political route. I honestly don't think they would have been able to do any fucking thing because you would have a different mindset and understanding. But say, fuck it, you know what? We know this shit is bullshit, but we're gonna go the political route. Nah, they got us out the way. These motherfuckers are geniuses. They are geniuses. I mean, you gotta take your head off to these people. They are pure architects. I mean, they are. They crafted this reality. I mean, this is what it is. They crafted this reality. So they understand this reality. Maybe that's why they were able to manipulate people so good. You know, I tip my hat off to the powers that shouldn't be, because they did a number, man. Especially when you can see it. Like how you have, I don't understand that, man. I really don't. And you know how many people are in New York State, New York City? Nobody made. I don't know if they did, but I'm just saying, no one was there. But yet, all the people that bootlicked the fucking police was there, and you had the leftist lunatics that they were talking about. I didn't watch all the videos, but I heard them screaming. I'm like, those are the motherfuckers they're talking about. They ain't even talking about y'all. Y'all just getting lumped in. All right, that's what they do. It's an opportunity to squish all the bugs at the same fucking time. All right, because if we all seen what these lefty lunatics, we thought, oh hell no, what the fuck they doing that for? I mean, anybody would agree that shit is stupid because they have no kind of understanding. They don't have any fucking understanding. Let me know if y'all can hear me. Let me shout out to my brother Wise and everybody else. Let me take this down real quick. Let me know if y'all can hear me still. Somebody shoot me a drop a comment. You know? But that's how they do it, man. They let one person fuck it up for everybody. Give them a reason. You know? Oh, you better believe that law getting passed. It may get slowed, but they're passing that law. I don't understand. We going full all out police state. Like you ain't it's gonna be worse than what you ever thought it would have ever been. Let me know if y'all can hear me. Somebody push a button, please. Put my disclaimer up while somebody pushes a button so I know if y'all can even hear me. Let me throw my disclaimer up there real quick. All right, thanks, Cuts. Thank you, man. So, so again, you had the auditors, right, who knew about it. Some knew about it last week, but at least make a video. Say, look, if anybody, this is an urgent message. Boom, urgent message. Go, look, we need to be here. Look, we got to show. No, no, it wasn't. No one, nobody, no one, zero, nobody but auditing Erie County. Shout out to him. If there's a person that would have been there, and it would have been that brother, 100%. Okay, 100%. All right, but look, nobody. You got other auditors fighting and shit, like weird shit. One of them turned into a fucking Zach and shit. That wasn't named Direct D. That dude's fucking. I knew he was a fucked up motherfucker. I mean, it's just the auditing community is the same thing. It's like a cesspool. There's good ones and there's a cesspool. Auditing America, fucking piece of human trash right there. You know, I helped that dude out. You know, shitted on me. He's a shitting on Will. Shit on everybody he came in contact. That dude was a narcissist piece of shit. And that's another thing is the same behaviors, the same traits, they all got this shit as social engineering. It's this I go deeper. I can go deeper into the energy. Me and my brother Makai was talking about this because there's another motherfucker out here running around here on some spiritual bullshit. You know, the spiritual bullshit crap is got the same exact mentality. One of my brothers went through exactly what I went through. You know, they all have this it's a syndrome. It's deeper than that. It's a demonic entity. You want to know the formula? It's a demonic entity that they're putting through these devices that embody certain people. And they're out here to eat you, to suck you, to leech you, to suck your energy dry. That's the deep side. I'm giving y'all the glazed version, okay? I'm giving y'all the glazed version of what's going on. You know why people aren't gathering. You know, and things of that nature. You know, there's real people out there that got a lot of people that rock with them that are good people. But there's a lot more fucked up people, nasty people, people that'll do you so fucking dirty, it's not even funny. Dirt bags. These are the people that are under those entities, man. They have these certain entities, and that's what embodies them, you know? It really, it's something because it's all the same. You can see it everywhere, you know? You can see it all everywhere. And people say, oh, it's power, it's ego. No, fuck your surface level bullshit. No, it's deeper than that. Okay? These motherfuckers manipulate energy. You think it's a game. Y'all think it's fucking numbers and stupid shit like that. No, man, it's energy. It's planetary alignments. It's all kinds of fucked up shit. All right? It's light. It's energy, man. These fucking screens, they light. It's lit up. We all got one in our fucking hand. People are addicted to this shit. People are addicted to these fucking things. I'm addicted to these fucking things in a way. You know, I know how to put it down, but we all have this fucking problem, man. You know? It is what it is. I mean, shit, I ain't scared to admit certain shit. You know? I picked up my fucking phone and realized, why the fuck did I just pick up my phone? That is crazy. You know? I've had my phone in my hand looking for the fucking phone before. What kind of shit is that? So when you gotta stop and say, damn, man, hold on, wait a minute. You know? That's why I don't put my phone in my pocket. I keep that shit in my hand. I don't know if it's better, but I don't like it in my ass. When I put it in my ass back pocket, when I used to years ago, I used to feel like it was vibrating. I would feel a pain, like that that whatever butt cheek out of him feel pain. So I stopped putting phone in my pocket years ago. I'll leave it in store. I leave it on shelves, stores all the time because I put it down looking for something. You know, a lot of times now I just leave it in the car. When I'm alone, I leave it in the car. When I'm with somebody, they'll remind me, "You got your phone?" You know. Honestly, I fucking hate these devices, man. I truly do hate them. It's our enslavement, our fucking enslavement tool. But anyways, you know, um, back to the whole thing. Like, you know, there's different aspects I'm looking at. Is I'm looking at the auditors, not all the auditors. I just putting it, you know, so y'all know what I mean. That like, wait a minute, where have you ever seen police fucking protesting, and then where have you seen the police protesting against something that y'all do? It really wasn't to you, but it's something that y'all do. It's something that these fucking lunatics learned from y'all, right? And they go out there and do it, and they don't know what the fuck they're talking about, and they're violent with the shit. Then they go doxing a motherfucker. That is the liberal leftist. They've been doing that shit since the fucking 60s and 70s. That's one of their tactics, is doxing people, going to homes and shit. But back in those times, they used to firebomb shit, Molotov cocktail shit, and all that other shit. Luckily, the government has them people under fucking control. All right, the government has them under control to where they only gonna do a certain shit. Some of them will get out of line and then they'll nip them in the bud. You know. So yeah. So think about that. The auditors, no auditors supported each other. I mean, few did, but that shit should have been. New York City should have had at least. I mean, how many people follow auditors? It's. I mean, it's astronomical. Okay, astronomical. Astronomical amount of people. And how many were there? I mean, I was blown away. I'm like, wait a minute. I looked at that. Then I looked at, why aren't all the auditors talking about this today? Right? And that just goes to show you a lot of them are in it for themselves. Another selfish. They're really not in here to educate nobody. It's for money, fame, glory, and themselves. That's it. Another one of the realest auditors, but I didn't consider him an auditor, was Fake Mike. He was never like that, man. That dude was never like that. That dude will help any fucking body. He'll look out for anyone, man. You know? But he's not an auditor. So, yeah. So then, you know, but then the thing about it is, where are the followers? All the keyboard warriors that be talking shit, you know? All the ones that say, "Oh, I support you 100%." No, no, no. See, we just be talking out of our fucking ass, man. The motherfuckers be talking out their ass. We support you 100%. You know, just like that other community over there, the fucking the kindergarten class, right? Hooked on phonics, ABCs and 1, 2, 3. Look it, everybody supported, but the minute we went out, nobody showed. Everybody had an excuse on why they couldn't make it. And I even told motherfuckers like, look, bitch that couldn't make it, shit. What's why you can't make it? Oh, I don't have money right now. Good. All right, well, what you need? You got some people staying in you know, got a lot of room for a lot of people in an Airbnb. You ain't got to pay for it. Don't worry about it. Boom. They make up another excuse. See? They tell you know, the chief, right? The master, they tell him, "I support you 100%." You know, oh, I'm your number one, and you ain't never seen the motherfucker. What you mean? And then think about that. Think about that too. This is like real life experience. The motherfuckers that it was people that ain't never even fucking commented that show up. All the motherfuckers, all the mouth. You ain't never see the motherfuckers, man. Think about that shit, man. You know? And then think about the one that's in charge of all of it. He done fucked everybody that was involved. Like, come on, man. Like, so this is whatever this energy is some kind of evil, demonic energy, man. Just think about that shit, man. Crazy. Think about it. So again, it goes into the auditors because I don't see auditors fighting with each other and they get together and they're beefing with one. One don't like this one and one don't like that one. Another one think they're king of the world and they're the best and this is the best. Bitch, I told y'all, yours truly, me, myself, walked with the best of the best, the actual pioneer that first ever fucking recorded a fucking cop. The first one ever, and that's Mario Vera's son, Davey VTV. Okay? Me, I was with that brother. They were from where I'm from, Rochester, New York. That's who started Cop Watch. Okay? That's who started that shit. Early fun. That motherfucker was doing that shit in the 80s, man. The 80s. With a big ass fucking camcorder. Like, y'all not the king. There's no king. What do you mean king? King of what? King of doing nothing? Like, come on, man. The king of doing nothing. What are y'all doing? You know? And that's what you got. That's a whole nother community. But you look at, and we already know, you could look for auditors on YouTube, and there's so many, man. There's so many. Because a lot of them do it because, hey, it's a good get. It pays well. So they start doing it. You know? But there are people who do educate, and I give them that. There are people who don't just go out there, flap their fucking gums, and say do this and do that, and don't follow up. No, there's motherfuckers who actually go that route, who are actually about that life, live that life. Auditing Erie County, I know is one. You know, shout out to him. He shit. You know, I'm not gonna sit here and go through my mental Rolodex of all the ones that actually do shit, follow up on shit, not just when it comes with themselves, but actually help and do other people. I mean, Long Island Audit does it too. You know, I used to did not like Audit. I used to like Long Island Audit. Then I didn't like Long Island Audit because I was following the cult herd mentality. Then I started liking them again. I'm like, okay, I get it now. I understand. You got to understand other people's perspective. I'm not about to fall into hate me, hate him. He's this, he's that. Whatever. Y'all do that shit. I don't do that. The fuck, you know what I mean? I don't do all that. That's that truth or trash fucking garbage. You know? That's what that is. That's that truther mentality bullshit. That shit that keep you divided. Yep. Mm-hmm. That hatred you got for that one person because you don't like he said this, or you don't like because he's a Christian, or he's a fucking this, or he believes a flat earth, or he believes, the sun is fucking red, or he believes the earth shaped like a dick. He believes the moon is a fucking piece of cheese. Who gives a fuck, man? No, I hate him. Oh, I hate him too. How do you hate him? Like, what the fuck are y'all doing? Like, I ain't never get that shit. Hell, shit was always goofy as fuck to me, you know? And when the fucking kindergarten class did that shit, I'm like, yo, what the fuck? And I already knew it. It's the sad thing, but I already knew the shit beforehand. I already knew it. I'm like, what the fuck, man? But you learn the hard way, you know? That shit was like a straight cult mentality. Boom, 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 boom. I'm like, wait a minute. I was just talking to you 5 minutes ago. Fuck you. You're not gonna, yeah, right. It's not gonna be sitting with me while we're going up after. You're not gonna be next to me while we're going up after. I'm like, wait a minute. You th- what the fuck? Y'all motherfuckers think y'all gonna be? Yeah, these motherfuckers was thinking they was gonna be a movie type scenario where they're all gonna have their AR-15s and running into DC and like taking out the white. Man, y'all some stupid motherfuckers, man. They need a person like you to think like that, cause that's how they get you. That's how they control you. They need you, and that's a dumbass way of thinking. Fuck what y'all talking about. That shit is stupid as fuck. That's just dumbass mentality, you know? Dumb as a bitch. That's what they want you want your dumb ass to do. I couldn't believe that dumb shit. But it is what it is, man. You know, it is what it is. But again, you see this in every single fucking community. A motherfucker flapped his gums today. Well, let me go with the fucking title of the video is that this is how these people think. And this motherfucker's the biggest one of the there's a lot of frauds, but there's a little cult sector frauds. This is the biggest law fraud on the fucking internet. And I can't wait. It's gonna be, I don't know, by the summer, I'm gonna go on a platform and expose all these motherfuckers, man. Y'all will see it because I'm gonna stream it on my channel too. I'm gonna expose all them motherfuckers, man, with all kind of shit. Because it's just over, man. Stop playing the game. Stop playing the people, man. Stop fucking the people over. And that's Yusuf L, SPC University. This is the title of this motherfucker's video today. The guru. Call in and speak to the real guru. For, like this is the type of he's got a suit and tie on and some shades and he just throw law terms out and ain't saying shit but fucking the shit out of everybody that listens to him. Literally. That's the title of his fucking video. And this is the shit I'm talking about, man. This is the shit I'm talking about. He's the fucking guru, couldn't answer a fucking question, and then fucking blocked me. What a bitch ass motherfucker, man. Couldn't answer a simple question, just dancing all around it. And that's the thing. Every one of them are the same. They will never answer a question. They will just go all the way around. I don't give a fuck if you tell them, yo, man, you got sunglasses on. What brand is that? Well, you see now, I had went over to the to the Louis Vuitton store, then I went to the Gucci store, and I went over here back over here. Then I went to my glove box and I got these glasses out of my glove box. And I said, bitch, what fucking kind of glasses you got on your fucking face? That's all I'm asking. Just tell me. I'm getting there. Hold on. So after I took that, I wiped my lenses off and I did. See, that's the type of shit you get with these people. Simple fucking question. They'll go all the way around it and never answer and then turn on you and start talking shit to you. That's what this motherfucker did to me. That's what another motherfucker did to me. Soon as you call these motherfuckers out, that's exactly what they do. And I don't even call. I'm just saying, look, you did this. Okay. You're into this law shit, so explain this right here. You've been telling these people this, but I found out this. Well, and then they just go all around. I said, no, I'm talking about this right here. And you don't realize I already got them set up. That's the thing. When you understand how these motherfuckers think, you got to have these people set up before they even open their fucking mouth. That's only way you fuck with this entity is you already got to have it set up. Because if there's a person that needs to know or thinking after a person that knows and deals with them does it right, oh, they ain't fucking with them no more. Because somebody could be asleep and can't see it and under their spell of this certain cult sector, and they ain't gonna believe shit until you catch them in that one thing and you unwind it. That's why they're afraid. It's so crazy that you wake up and then you gotta go wake up the people who think they're awakened from people that are playing like they're awake and got control of a bunch of different people. You had a system that had control of people. Now you got a truthing ideology that has control of a whole bunch of people and got them in all kinds of pockets of fucking belief systems with no fucking, really no foundation. Another one is this, and I kind of like, got into it at first, but then after I got on, I'm like, man, that's some fucking bullshit. This shit don't add up because I have to go back. They got me at first, but then I had to go roll back and be like, wait, I can't dismiss my own history that I verified with my own fucking eyeballs. I can't do that. And that's like this Tataria shit. Yeah, I get it. All right, I believe there was a civilization, yes, but what these motherfuckers is talking about, man, that shit's wrong. Like, what are you talking about? Was there a reset? Yes, definitely was a reset at some point. Somehow there was definitely a reset. But like this Zataria shit and all this other shit, I'm like, that's all over the internet. I'm like, that's a new flat Earth. I'm like, the shit does not add up to like verifiable records, like history that's documented. Like you can't undocument that shit. All right. I mean, it just is what it is. Like, how did it? It just doesn't make any sense when you really get down into it. Some stuff makes sense, sounds good, and some stuff actually is like, yeah, okay, that I get that. But this other shit, no, that's some bullshit. Don't fall for that. And I tried to tell somebody that was involved in that. Oh boy, guess what happened to me? I got cast out. I got thrown out of another community. I got cast away again. They call me and fucking go to sleep. You drink too much fucking fluoride, dumbass. Like, whoa, wow, okay. Jesus Christ. I mean, it's just, it's guys, it's crazy. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. And it's another new one. What the fuck is it I saw? I'm like, hey, yeah, people falling for this shit. Like, come on, man. It's another new one. Oh, I forgot it, man. I forgot it. So yeah, again, and it's the thing is, and this brother, he explained this shit very well, better than I'm going to explain because I'm going to play it in a minute. I'm going to play it. It's actually a long, and I'm gonna stop it here and there, but I don't like to stop it because it takes away. I don't like to interject because it takes away. Yeah, I can add to it and break it down, but it ain't no need to because it's already broken down. You know. So yeah, man, I just wanted to talk about that auditing thing. I'm like, when I saw, because I heard about it, I'm like, oh shit, I thought it was it. I, I thought I was still in March. My bad. I thought I was still in March because it said April 20. I'm like, oh, all right. So they better promote this shit. But I forgot we already in fucking April. So I thought it was a month away. But anyways, I heard about it like maybe last week, and I figured, oh, okay, they got some time. They'll talk about it. And then when Long Island Audit was live, and he was talking like, wait a minute, it's now, fuck, because I would have liked to actually go there and document the shit myself. I want to document it, like yo, look, because I would have been right there, like yo, what? Ain't nobody. How is that possible? How? When I literally see millions upon millions of people following auditors, all of them, and there's millions of followers amongst them. You know what I'm saying? Millions. And you can't get, man, 50 people looks like a lot when you out in the crowd. Like, that's crazy to me. Like, I'm like, yo, it's you, any hope of lose whatever the fuck hope you got and plan your best. My first advice is get the fuck out of here. Okay? Plan on that. Okay? Plan on a exodus out this motherfucker, man. Because what's coming here, guys, y'all don't understand what this place that they're putting all that energy on us has done to the motherfucking world, man. Them people gonna do that shit to us. Like they ain't got no loyalty. You think they loyal to us? What is wrong with y'all, man? That shit is coming to us, man. They're bringing it to us. That shit in New York City, a cops protesting all that shit, man, that ain't nothing. You think you're gonna be able to pull a camera out and record a motherfucking police pretty soon? No, man, that shit is almost over. You're gonna get your head smashed in, man. They already do it. The fuck? Y'all don't understand, man. Y'all still got this hope. I'm telling y'all. I mean, I can't even tell people to deprogram because ain't nobody gonna fucking deprogram. It's over. People are programmed. That's it. Me, I got a mission. I'm on my mission. And y'all gonna see my motherfucking mission. That, and you know what it is, what it is. The universe works its ways, okay? And that's it. You know? I don't know how much time we got. I just hope it got enough time for me. I'm gonna be selfish for me. I've been telling y'all forever what the fuck I wanna. How many times you sit here telling me I wanted to go to Mexico? I wanted to get the fuck out of here. Years. But I fell into the truther mentality and like kind of like said, no, you know what? I'm gonna ride it out, rock it out. I've always been saying we need to get the fuck out of here. Why? Because deep down inside I already knew. Fast forward to today, everything I knew I see now happening. You know? And then all the motherfuckers say the same. Every single fucking person to this day say the same fucking thing. Well, that's gonna be everywhere. Y'all keep believing that shit. I'm not your truther. You telling yourself that because when you tell me that, you're reassuring my ass to get the fuck away from y'all. Y'all didn't realize it. Y'all telling me that? Y'all reassuring me? Yeah, I got to get the fuck away from these motherfuckers fast. And I think about it. Then I go into my mental Rolodex. I'm like, I ain't even got no family. I ain't got no friends. I don't hang with nobody. I got a handful of brothers. That's it. All I think I do is tell them, look, man, look, you gotta be a time where you gotta make some decisions. But what the fuck am I doing here that I can't be doing anywhere else? Nothing. These are the things that we need to be weighing on in our mind is saying, what the fuck we got here that we can't go somewhere else and do? Because y'all don't know, some of y'all may, but the amount of motherfuckers that is hauling ass is astronomical. Remember, y'all get caught up in that ICE shit and oh, legal's illegal. I'm an American. No, there's motherfuckers that realize, bitch, most motherfuckers ain't from here. And guess where the motherfuckers ain't from here going? Back to where the fuck they from because they done been through this shit. They see this shit. It's in their DNA because this shit is new. If you think about all the cultures over here, you can go through the Asian cultures, the Spanish cultures, the fucking African cultures. They all, their country's been ravaged by the same thing that's come here. So a lot of the motherfuckers that ain't brainwashed, like they get like, wait a minute. They started to say, wait a minute, this shit sounding like and looking like what happened over in my country. Yeah, y'all better fucking wake the fuck up. What's good, Garden State accountability? Accountability? Sounds like an auditing channel. Yeah, auditor. I was just talking about auditors. Not talking about them, but you know, I'm just. Are you an auditor? Yeah. I'm talking about what happened in New York City, man. Like on a different level. I don't know when you came in, but I'm talking about auditing. Like, oh, okay, you're an auditor. Like, I cannot. Shout out to auditing Erie County. Shout out to Leroy Truth. And I don't know who else was there. I don't know. I've never seen those channels, so I don't know who they are. But I do know auditing Erie County. Shout out to them for being there. What I cannot understand is where's all the auditors? But I'll even give that a pass because I get it. But where the fuck is all the people that follow the auditors that say all the shit that I see in the comments? Nobody. I was like, what is go? I'm like, yo, man, we're cooked. We're doomed, man. It's over, man. It's over. It is over. It's over. It's a wrap, man. You know, it's a wrap. It was sad to see. You know, it was very sad to see that. And then it looked even worse because I see Ordinary County, Leary. I'm like, I feel like, damn, man. I'm so like, it like pissed me off. Like all the shit that these brothers go through and do. Like where the fuck? And I read the comments of how much people say they support or do this, and oh, you need to come here, you need to do this, you need to go that. Man, fuck that, man. You know? I mean, seriously, I would be coming on and trashing my damn followers if that was me. You know? Yeah, I know it was. I do understand that it was last minute and the way they did it. But yo, all them fucking leftist lunatics were there. That's what I'm saying. Like them leftist lunatics, them motherfuckers be plugged in. Like they always know when some shit going down. They always do, and they be there doing their fucking liberal dumb shit. Those are the ones who cause it. And that's another thing is, like put the word out. It's like I seen like Long Island Audit, even Leroy Truth. He was saying it's for us. It's from no man. That shit came from them leftist lunatics and them protests on what they be doing. They're into that doxing, putting the cameras up in the fucking police face, pushing them, like doing all kind of dumb shit. And that falls on you guys because they learned that shit from y'all. So it falls on you guys, and then you know it's gonna affect y'all. But it's not because of the auditors. It's because of those motherfuckers who walk around with the little press. I'm pressed. I'm pressed. I'm pressed. They don't know what the fuck's going on, right? All they know is how to fuck up shit, protest, break shit, talk shit to cops, incoherent, dumb shit. Those fucking leftist, liberal idiots. Okay, that's what this is for. Because all that shit that was going on in New York City, you know, and then I see the auditor said, I never seen that. Don't say that, man, because you make yourself look bad. And so another thing I said, like, yo, the shit that I be talking about, people are in a fucking bubble, man. Get out of that bubble. Y'all gotta be aware of what's going on, man. People are not aware. Like, how the fuck y'all don't know? They're not talking about you. But then I see like Long Island, he was saying, you know, I haven't seen that. And then they were like, even the auditor Gary County, he said, I haven't seen that. No, I've never seen an auditor do no shit like that. But those motherfuckers, I could send y'all videos of them doing that shit. I've been out there documenting this shit, and I've seen these motherfuckers do what they do. I'm like, yo, they deserve teeth on pavement for what the shit that I've seen. I'd be like, yo, I don't even like the motherfucking police, but pick that motherfucker that just did that up and face to pavement right now. I'm good with that. For what he just did, he deserves that shit. I believe in eye for eye. I don't give a fuck about a badge, gun, none of that shit. Eye for an eye. It's some shit that you just don't do. That's where morals and principles overrule dumb shit ideology belief systems. You gotta understand, those is men and women. At the end of the day, I don't give a fuck what nobody says. Yeah, they got a bad. I get all that. But you gotta have morals and principles to understand that that's a man right there. If he ain't do shit to you, you can't lump them all in because you don't want them to lump you all in with everybody either. Why y'all do it? Not you guys, but you know what I mean. Don't That's the wrong mentality. I've recorded cops. I've done great. I've done mad videos. I done did a lot of videos that went viral too. But I'm not auditing. I can't get nothing out of auditing. I can't. That's not my thing. They ain't my problem. The motherfuckers that tell them to do the shit is the problem. The ones that pass these fucked up ass statutes, codes, rules, and regulations is the fucking problem. You know? So it's crazy, man. Sorry, man. I can't. I can't read all the yeah, they got laws in place for that too. You're right. But they don't got laws in place for them crazy motherfuckers that be out there doing shit. Cause you gotta remember the police were out there with all those ICE protests and they were going through it. I'm like, yo, like what? But you gotta remember, they use certain tactics so it doesn't look so aggressive because they want a certain demographic of resistance. Okay? That's why they resort to the little bullshit. If it was up to them, they would be out there popping motherfuckers, billy clubbing the shit out of people. But they know that will bring out a sector that they don't want to come out. So they trained all these motherfucking revolutionaries to come out like that. So they treat them like that. But they do too fucking much. Because they don't have no intelligence. So they spit, they throw bottles, they throw rocks, they throw, all kinds of whatever they can get their hands on, right? They do shit like this. It's not auditors. And that law, you could read it, it's specifically for those motherfuckers. Even the wording starts off with your right to, record and all that shit. They're not talking about y'all. It's those people. And ironically, guess what? They use those people to pass agendas. See? Them could have been agitators that they paid so they could get this outcome because they're signing that motherfucking bill. I don't give a fuck what anybody say. They ain't seen no resistance there but those leftist lunatics because I heard them screaming in the motherfucking background on Leroy Truth's video. I'm like, them motherfuckers is there. Where's all the supporters of the auditors? It's crazy, man. It's crazy. You know? And there's division amongst auditors too. Like I said, this is fucking, I told you, I always thought that Direct D was a fucking scumbag. There's a lot of scumbags. Auditing America, fucking scumbag. You know? It's some scumbag fucking auditors out there. It's a couple more. I don't like, just do dumb shit. I mean, who does that? Who does that stupid shit? You know? But there's very good auditors out there, Auditing Erie County, Long Island Audit. Who else? I can't think of them off the top of my head. Fake Mike Real News, my brother. You know. Um, who else, man? I don't watch much anymore. I'm just trying to, when it's always spurred on, you can't think of names and shit. And oh man, I forgot about him. But I remember he don't make videos anymore. But the Batausai was one of the best fucking auditors out there. That motherfucker didn't say shit. He really was doing damage. He got a fucking law passed. He got a Turner versus Driver. You know? He got fucking case law passed. That shit is dope as fuck. I'm trying to get case law right now from one of my cases, family court cases. I can't. I hope that shit goes. I'm gonna love that because I'll be able to educate the shit out of people. You know? So yeah, there's a lot of good auditors out there that do really good work. All right. But still, then the good auditors, the followers, all right, they ain't, that's all they are. They groupies. They never gonna come out and show no love because they scared. They in fear, right? They live through you. You're their power. You're their dopamine hit. Long as they get you, watch your videos, they're good. They're not gonna do nothing. And that's why they created the social engineering media because they needed that. They needed an idolizer and a cult mentality. Therefore, they know that most people are not going to do shit unless their cult leader, and I'm just telling you, it's not meaning a cult leader, but whoever they're following moves. So if you keep the one they're following not in the movement, right? However means you can do that by shutting it off, paying well, whatever. Then that's what they do. See, I mean, this stuff is strategically done. Strategic. That's why they allow it. That's why they pay people to do this shit. They pay a Yusuf L to sit up there and talk fake law all day. sound smart because ain't nobody gonna check them out. But when you learn the shit like I did, you know that motherfucker's full of shit. That motherfucker's full of more shit than a porta potty. You know? Same thing with the spiritual gurus. You know? Spiritual gurus the same fucking way out there talking all this spiritual shit and stealing it from somebody. You know? It is what it is, man. You got every little faction doing the same fucking thing, man. It's like literally, you can go to any. I ain't never been locked in any kind of dichotomy, so I've been in many different groups, many different cliques, truth in realms and seen it all. This one don't like that one. That one don't like this one. This one over here don't like that one. Oh my God, every fucking community is the same. This flat earth community don't like that flat earth community because of this flat earth community, that flat earth community, and goddamn, then the numerology community don't like this one and that one. Then the law guru community and this one and that one. You got people frauding people, making, oh my fucking God, it's crazy. But guess what? Yeah, right, the Matrix is always linked with the real ones. He always links up with the real ones. You know? Always. You know? But shout out to you, if you're still here, Guard State Accountability. Sounds like you might be in New Jersey. And I think I might follow your channel. I think I probably do. But you're right. People need to stick together, man. You know? You know? It's fucked up, man. They engineered this society, man. It's bad, man. But I'm going to play this video. I'm going to shut my trap and I'm going to play this video. Listen, y'all need to listen to this shit like it's like I'm still here. Don't hear it playing. Say, I don't want to hear that. I get it. People don't got the attention span. I understand that. People want their dopamine hits, but I'm telling you, this motherfucker is breaking this place down. That I already know. Most of us know, but he's giving you the formula on how it's happening, where we can see it in real time. And the shit that I just said, he's talking about it too. So I'm gonna play this and rest my voice for a minute. I might stop it, interrupt it, but this shit is deep as fuck. Now, I could take it a little deeper and go into the demon world and show you how this shit is really working, but that'll really scare off a lot of people and shit. And, I ain't trying to do all that. I would like to have my brother Wise chime in on that aspect of it, but I hope people can see what is happening here. But don't mix up my words. Again, I already played my disclaimer. Don't mix up my words. It ain't no fixing what is coming. It's over. 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 There's no fix. There's no you're gonna change anybody's mind. No, it's over. You can't do it. It's impossible. Okay? And these people that you can't change fucking mind, okay, is gonna go down with the flames, and you don't want to be nowhere around any motherfucker that's going down, and you don't want to be around a motherfucker that's enforcing the shit down. I'm just telling you, you gotta see the writing on the wall, man. You gotta see it. That shit I seen with the auditors is a whole nother thing. And then when I saw on other auditor channel talk about it earlier tonight, it was, I think, I tuned into the First Amendment Protection Agency. He goes out in front of dispensaries, which I love because he shows me more of why I need to get the far the fuck away from these people as possible. Okay? He shows me exactly why I need to go. That's another channel that I love. Okay? I don't like his antics of recording, like public shit. But hell, he's showing me the mentality of society that I need to be fucking seeing. See, y'all be with that y'all get into that hero character shit. I ain't never do that. Y'all know me. I ain't never do that. Fuck what y'all talking about. I never done that. If there's a piece I can take from something, I gain it. That's it. Because I control me. Don't nobody control me. I control me. If there's a piece I can get, that's what I get. And I'm gone. Y'all be into that. Oh, the guy has a blue shirt on. Oh, the guy, he talks like this, so I don't like him. I'm not going to watch. Oh, the guy, man, fuck. Man, I be in all kind of realm. You like, why the fuck you did? You be like, why the fuck you talking to that motherfucker? Then I bust this shit down. You go, oh, okay, I see now. Yeah, what the fuck y'all? What's wrong with y'all? Who taught y'all? You got to ask yourself, who the fuck taught you to think like that? Because I'll go back to childhood, to 5 years old. We ain't never think like that. Oh, Billy has a blue book bag. I don't like him. Man, that shit, we were trained that way. Y'all better untrain yourself. When you start realizing you was trained a certain way, man, untrain yourself. You know? Y'all don't see me talking to homeless fucking people. People on fucking drugs. Why? Because I need to know some certain things. You know, I need to know like what happened, how this happened, and then I start asking, oh shit, no, oh look, you know, I don't care. I don't talk to anybody. I don't give a fuck. People be all like, oh, I don't go outside. I don't want to be around people. I don't want to, you know. I mean, I get that. Trust me, I get that 100%. But you're missing out on understanding what society you're in that make that little bubble you feeling comfortable in. You got to get outside of it to know, look, I need to move my bubble or get out of my bubble because this shit about to get bursted. Because I told you, we're sitting on the bottom of the fucking Atlantic Ocean or wherever the fuck, the Baltic Sea, wherever that Titanic was blown up and all them bankers was fucking killed or whatever the fuck. We're on the bottom sitting in a pocket of air and the air is running out. So I'm going to shut my mouth for a minute, take a drink of water, relax a bit. If y'all need to hear this video, please listen to it because the shit is deep, all right? And it's real, like it's real, you know? How I found this channel, it was shit I was hearing. Everything I hear that I ain't never heard before, I go check it out and this shit be on point. I've even learned some, this motherfucker that went deeper than truthers went. I'm like, he's not even a truther. He just spit out like a couple names and I linked together a whole, I was like, holy shit. He said some prominent family name that I've never heard talked about before. And I went to looking at what they own and control. I'm like, God damn. I'm like, whoa. I'm like, that's why, holy shit. And then you start seeing the shit in your community, like that once was owned by the government that's now not. You're like, yo, we in some big guys. We are in trouble, man. We're in trouble. We can't see it because we hear. It's like a bad relationship. You think it's good, right? But you realize how fucked up it is when you leave. So when you hear somebody from the outside and you start paying attention to what the rest of the outside is saying, because I don't have enough time to sit here, because there's a Turkish guy, right? That is the same way, man. I'm like, yo, what the fuck? And it's shit you'll never see on the news. You'll never hear about. You won't even understand nothing. So I'm gonna shut up and I'm gonna play this video, okay? So yeah, this is really you'll be able to hear it. I'm gonna stop it, but shout out to all you guys for tuning in.
Your system. That has not changed. The only thing that has changed is the
sound will come in better in a second.
It's being used. And if you're going to try to develop any sort of a strategy to try to navigate your situation in America, I'm telling you, the starting point is for you to realize and recognize this fact. Your system is this way because your culture is this way. Your society is the way that it is because you are the way that you are. You understand? This is not a chicken and the egg sort of an issue. You know, which came first, you or your system? Well, we know that you came first. Which came first, you or your culture? Obviously, you did. You came, and then the culture came. You built the culture. Everything that has been done around the world, everything that you have done around the world, and everything that is now being done to you, it all flows from that same source. It flows from the same values, from the same beliefs from the same moral or immoral framework that was always there. That was always there, that was always operating, and that was always producing exactly these same results, except that it was always producing those results elsewhere. What's the solution? These are the comments that I always get. What's the solution? That's all you want to know. What's the solution? Give me a solution. Never mind that you're not even identifying the problem that needs solving. What's the solution to what? What's the solution to what? To your system? What's the solution to your culture? To your mentality? You want me to give a solution to you, for you, solve me, right? This is what you're asking. You cannot understand what is happening to you without understanding what you are. You understand? Not what you say you are, but what you actually are. I'm talking on a civilizational level. Because those two things, what you say you are and what you actually are in America, are very far apart. What you are and what you say you are, these are two versions of you that have never met, that are completely unacquainted with each other. Do you remember that experiment at Yale University?
Now, see, that was what I was just talking about. How people trying to fight for freedom and stand up and don't even know who the fuck they are. And I experienced that shit in real fucking life. I'm like, yo, even when we got together, I would be with the ones that rocked out. Like, yo, I was thinking to myself, like, yo, these motherfuckers ain't even on it like that. I'm like, this motherfucker's still doing it. Like, what are they doing? I'm like, no. I'm like, and it is. It's right. He's right. People are confused. They ain't even. I meet a person in a minute and know, damn, this motherfucker never worked on themselves. How the fuck? Like, nah, I'm gonna be over here. I could tell a motherfucker that never worked on themselves because I knew that I had to work on myself first before I come talking shit about anything to anybody. Like, how the fuck I'm gonna be talking all this shit and I don't do it? Like, what the fuck? Like, I'm not about to be doing none of that. Like, how could I go talk all this shit and I'm not doing it? Like, ain't no way. Like, I woke up, I said, fuck that. My I went immediately. It wasn't I was gonna try. No. They thought I was fucking nuts. I had 7 kids in the household at that time. I said, how the fuck am I gonna switch one night to straight no none of this shit? Guess what? Did it. Did it. I said I got to get my kids out of school. Went through hell, court for like 6 years straight, right? But I did it. Like, I'm not about to have my kids in no fucking school. You crazy? Got them out before Mr. 19 hit. Okay? Got them out of that shit. They ain't had to see none of that shit. Then I said to myself, man, I got to change up. I got to change everything. I did it in my own life. I can't tell anybody else to do the shit and I ain't do it. The fuck? Like, so when you are awakened, right, you have life changes. You're like, nah, I ain't that motherfucker. You change like, nah, they ain't never gonna do that to me again. And that's how I got. Yeah, you ain't about to do that to me again. You know? Nah, I'm not doing that no more. Now I'm not going this office. They not gonna talk to me like that because now I know. You know? I had to change up everything. So that shit got to go with you everywhere. That same principle. Because you went into yourself and what? You changed who you are and brought those morals forward. Y'all already know. I bounced out of a whole motherfucking relationship because of some morals and principles. You know? And you got a motherfucker they used to talk shit. Oh, look, yeah, right. He's fucking stupid. That's why his girl left him. Bitch, he's a dumb motherfucker. I did that shit. What are you talking about? Cause I got morals. Cause I ain't no bitch. I'm not no simp. I got morals. Okay? I got morals and principles. I will not shake and break them shits for not a person. I don't give a fuck who it is. It ain't getting broken. And that's it. I gotta live with that. Simple. Walked away from an entire in a split. It took 1 second. That's it. It was like a death, like a die. I might as well got in a crash. and died. Life changed forever. Boom. All from one little incident, you know? But those are morals and principles. That's it. Once you got those, once you got them in check, life becomes easier. You know? Life becomes easier. And that's what I try to teach people. I tell people, can y'all still hear me? Can y'all still hear me? Let me see if this little blurb is still moving. Yeah, it's still moving. I think y'all can still hear me. Let me know if y'all can still hear me. Damn, it's 1 o'clock. All right, thanks. Appreciate it. So, morals and principles. That's it. All you got in life is you have the moral first and you set the principles up. I mean, that's how society is structured. you know? Moral is the foundation. The principles are what you set forth. When them principles get touched, shit, what they got in school? A principle. Colleges, well, principal, I don't know if they got a college, I don't know. But in school, they got principles. That's at the top, right? When you break all the rules, you go to the principal, right? So you have morals and principles. If you break those principles, shit, then your morality is right there. The principles are the barrier. Your morale is who you are. If you let that shit in, shit, people wonder why they have problems. People wonder why their life fucked up. Well, it's simple. That's your problem right there. You violated your principles. You let them down. They blurred them down. And now it's fucking with your morale. It's deep in you. Now you got problems. Now you got stress, anxiety, depression. Now you're going to abuse alcohol, drugs, GMO fucking weed. You're going to look for outlets. Yeah, that's you violating your morals. Bitch, get some morals. Stand on that foundation, man. Suck that shit the fuck up. You know? Ain't none of that here. Ain't none of that here. That's why society is like this, because nobody has that no more. Nobody has that. So I'm going to go ahead and let this keep going. We'll wind it back a little bit.
Back in, I think, solution to your culture, to your mentality. You want me to give a solution to you, for you, solve me, right? This is what you're asking. You cannot understand what is happening to you without understanding what you are. You understand? Not what you say you are, but what you actually are. I'm talking on a civilizational level. Because those two things, what you say you are and what you actually are in America, are very far apart. What you are and what you say you are, these are two versions of you that have never met, that are completely unacquainted with each other. Do you remember that experiment at Yale University back in, I think, 1963, called the Milgram experiment? That was when the professor or the scientist, he recruited ordinary Americans from the street, not CEOs, okay, not billionaires, regular rank and file Americans. And then he put them in a room with a machine that appeared, they believed it delivered electric shocks to someone in another room. And every time that someone in the other room got an answer wrong on some sort of a test that they were doing, then the person in that first room was instructed to press a button that was supposed to send a shock to the person in the second room. They were connected by intercom. So the one person, the person in the first room, could hear the person answering the questions in the second room. And the shocks, every time they would get a wrong answer, the shocks increased from 15 volts all the way up to 450 volts. At the top of the dial on the machine that they had, it said danger, severe shock, severe shock. So the person in the other room who was supposedly getting electrocuted was actually an actor. It was actually an actor. But the person in the first room didn't know that. And as the shock levels increased, he screamed, and his screams got louder and louder, and he was begging them to stop, said that his heart was hurting. And eventually he went completely silent. In that first room, they had a man in a lab coat, a white lab coat, an authority figure, and he kept telling the person to press the button. He's telling him, please continue. Don't stop. The experiment requires that you continue doing it. And they complied every time. They complied every time. They kept delivering escalating shocks to some stranger in another room. Okay? 65% of the participants pressed that button all the way to maximum, 450 volts. Every single participant went at least all the way up to 300 volts. As far as they knew, they were electrocuting another human being, potentially electrocuting them to death. Like I said, we're not talking about executives. We're not talking about, these weren't elites. These weren't the rich and powerful. They weren't soldiers. They weren't criminals. They weren't, ideologically extreme people. They were ordinary, rank and file, average Americans off the street on any given Tuesday afternoon. Oh, that was a long time ago, right? You'll say that was 1963. That was 60 years ago. No, because they did it again. A French television program, a television station, they replicated that study in 2010, and 80% of the people went all the way to the maximum level of shock, of electric shock. Then there was a Polish study that did the same experiment, and that produced 90% compliance. 90% of the people were willing to electrocute someone in another room all the way to the maximum level of electrocution. Now, before they did the experiment, they consulted with psychologists, and those psychologists predicted that maybe only 1 or 2% of the people, maybe only 1 or 2% of the people would actually go all the way. So you see, there is who you say you are, who you think you are, and then there is who you actually are, and they're completely different types of people. Now, okay, when most people look at the Milgram study, the Milgram experiment, what they take away from it is that the experiment shows how easily regular average people, ordinary people, can be manipulated into doing terrible things by an authority figure. They think it shows how powerful social pressure can be. No, you wish that's what it showed. You wish that's what it meant. No. Yes, it shows that authority, if that authority figure presents themselves as confident and legitimate and completely in control of the situation, then yes, it shows that a significant majority of people will do what they're told. They will do what they're told, even if what they're told to do causes severe harm to another human being. Yes, that's true. But the problem is not that those people couldn't recognize savage authority, brutal authority. The problem is that savage and brutal authority is precisely the kind of authority that they respect. You understand? Savagery is authority in your culture. Power in American culture is its own justification. It's its own source of authority. If you have it, you deserve it. And if you have it, you get to use it. And if you don't have it, then what happens to you, you deserve that too. You understand? This is not a description of confusion or manipulation or coercion. This is a description of a value system that the people who participated in that experiment grew up in. Americans don't admire their billionaires despite the fact that those billionaires crush their workers, despite the fact that they extract from communities, despite the fact that they hoard their wealth while their employees can't pay their rent. They don't admire them despite of that. They admire them because of that. Because in the American value system, the real American value system, not the declared one, not the rhetoric, in their value system, the only thing that matters is winning. Winning is the only moral category that ultimately matters at all. I mean, just look at how they talk. When they say they want to succeed at something, they say they want to crush it. They say they want to kill it. They say they want to dominate the market. They say they want to destroy the competition and so forth. Their own language gives them away. This is not an accidental vocabulary they're using, not an accidental turn of phrase. That's their culture telling you exactly what their true values are every single time they open their mouth. Nice guys finish last. Second best is just a loser. Zero sum, winner takes all, last man standing. This isn't them being cynical. These aren't observations that they're making about society and they are reluctantly acknowledging it. No, you feel that way. You feel that way deep in your bones. So when the CEO of this or that company, the CEO of Starbucks, makes $97 million while the median worker at the same company makes $14,000, he didn't betray American values. He's expressing American values. He won, according to everything that that culture has ever taught about what winning looks like, which is I have everything, you have nothing. And when a con man billionaire like Elon Musk spends $300 million to put a president in office, and that president then hands him control of the federal government, of the federal budget, that's not him corrupting the system. He just played the game better than everyone else. That's how you see it. In American culture, that's called success. You have blatant, flagrant, flamboyant corruption in your country playing out in 4K everywhere you look, and it doesn't raise an eyebrow. No court cases, no prosecution, no charges, no nothing. When the elites extracted from Iran, from Guatemala, from Chile, from Iraq, they were not violating Western values. They were applying Western values, their values and your values. Yes, Western values, the values that you grew up on. I said the nature of your system has not changed, only who it's being applied to. And that's the only thing that bothers you now. The truth of the matter is that's the only thing that bothers you now. America was founded on a very specific story, the story of the settler, the pioneer, right, who pushed out into the West, who took the land by force, who displaced or exterminated the people that were already living there. And you call that genocidal conquest beautiful. America the beautiful, land of the free, home of the brave, free to mass murder and brave enough to do it. Manifest destiny. Manifest destiny, meaning God planned this. The God that you believe in planned this. According to your concept of God, the strong are supposed to take advantage of the weak. The strong are supposed to oppress the weak. The conquerors are supposed to decimate people. This is how it was always meant to be in your religious belief, in your theological belief. That's your creation story. And creation stories aren't just history, they're templates that tell a people who they are, what they are, and what's not just permissible for them, but what's expected from them. You understand me? And your story says taking is permissible, domination is virtuous. The strong deserve whatever they can take, and the weak deserve whatever happens to them because they should have been stronger. If they didn't want that to happen to them, they should have been stronger. That's the way you see things. And every generation ever since that origin story was raised inside of that origin story. So you wonder why Americans watch their neighbors lose their homes and don't organize to stop it. Because in this framework, losing your home means that you failed to compete properly. The system didn't fail you, you failed the system. You didn't play the game right. Elon Musk played the game right. You know, you wonder why workers, I see this online, people asking, why do workers vote against their economic interests again and again and again? Because they don't identify with their own peers. They don't identify with the people at the bottom. They identify with the so-called winners, what they think are winners. They believe that they're just one good decision away from being one of those winners themselves. You understand? They don't want the rules changed before they get to the top. This lottery mentality. You have this lottery mentality. You want complete impunity for the rich and powerful because you hope to be rich and powerful someday, and you hope to be rich and powerful precisely so that you can have that same impunity. You don't want to see the rich and powerful punished because you want to be rich and powerful yourself. You believe in violence as a people. You believe in pillage. You believe in oppression. You believe in brutality. Those of you at the top and those of you at the bottom. This is a culture that has been extraordinarily effective and successful at making their people internalize its inhuman values, including the very people that they are oppressing and the very people that they are destroying. I know you don't want to talk about this, though. You don't want to deal with the underlying values of your society, the underlying values of your so-called civilization. You want a quick fix. You're hurting now, and you want a quick fix. You want a quick remedy. Because this is just reflective of the same kind of thinking that I'm talking about. Why wouldn't you think that setting a fire to a warehouse is going to solve your problems? Why wouldn't you think that? Destruction has always been your go-to solution to this, that, and every other problem. And you can't comprehend that that way of thinking is your actual problem. But I know you'll say, okay, fine, but we need solutions. We're being oppressed. We need solutions to our oppression. We need to fix the system. We need a revolution. We need an uprising. You know, we're being surveilled. We're being jailed. We're being dispossessed. We're being suppressed. The rich are getting richer and the poor are getting poorer. And because we're in that latter category, because we're in that poorer category, because of that, now we want to change the system. Now we want to change it, right? Yes, okay, we admit our society committed all kinds of crimes all around the world. Our society looted and pillaged and mass murdered and exploited and colonized and extracted other people's resources. And we all benefited from that by one way or another. We all benefited from that. We all endorsed that by one way or another. But now that it's happening to us, well, we want to stop it. Now we want to stop it. We've seen the error of our ways. We've seen the light, and now we want to change the system. Look, I don't know how to break this to you. a system and a culture produces certain kinds of results. It can only produce certain kind of results. It produces certain kinds of people. And what that people are capable of depends entirely on what kind of a people they are. Do you understand? What they're capable of depends on the kind of people they are. There's a national test in America that asks students, young students, how much they know about their government, how much they know about how their government works, how much they know about what their legal rights are, if they know about how to participate in the government and so forth, in politics. It's called a civics assessment. Okay, so in 2022, only 22% of eighth grade students performed at their grade level proficiency. 78% couldn't even pass at their grade level proficiency. Okay, 1 in 3 of the people who were tested, the students who were tested, couldn't even reach the basic benchmark, meaning they could not describe the fundamental structure of the government that they are living under in eighth grade. Now, okay, you'll see that the reason for that is that the schools were defunded, that the curriculum has been narrowed, that standardized testing has pushed civics out of importance. Yes, absolutely, that's true. But why? Why was that allowed to happen? If you're a population that genuinely values self-governance and democracy, so-called, actually valued your so-called democracy, valued it as something more than just decorative or performance, then the erasure of civics education from schools would have been a crisis. That would have been resisted. That would have been opposed. It wasn't, because in practice, democracy in America has always been just a performance. It's decorative. You don't need to know about the political system. It's a decoration. You know that. We know that you know that because you don't teach it. Education, in your conception, isn't for that. Education is for operating in the real power structure, which is the private sector. That's why every school is basically a vocational school now. You don't go to school to be a good citizen. You go to school to get a good job. That's the purpose of education in your conception. Actual civic knowledge, civic capacity, actual collective self-governance, knowledge of that, knowledge of actual democracy. That was never what your culture truly valued. What's actually valued was the performance of democracy, while real power operated the way it always has operated over there, in service to those who have it and against those who don't have it. The only reason that you want to go to school, the only reason that you do go to school at all is because you hope that one day you can be among those who have power, so that you can be one of those people who gets to do whatever they want to those who don't have power. And the result of this priority system is that now you have a population that knows nothing about civics, that knows nothing about your political system. You see, your system adheres to your cultural values, and it produces a certain type of results. You know, since 1972, there's a survey that they call the General Survey, Social Survey, and they ask Americans the same questions every year. One of the questions is, do you think that most people can be trusted? Okay, so the first time they did that in 1972, 46% of Americans said yes. Okay, today that number is 34%. That's the result of the system. That's the result of the culture. Pervasive
Just want to add this. This is where you could start thinking about your truth communities right here.
distrust. Distrust in the press, distrust in the banks, distrust in the corporations, distrust in organized religion, distrust in the government, distrust in your neighbors, distrust across almost every institution. That distrust has almost doubled, roughly. It's roughly doubled in just 50 years. I mean, sure, you can say that it doubled because the institutions consistently failed people for 50 years. So people stopped trusting in those institutions, and you're not wrong. But again, why? Why did that happen, and why was that allowed to happen? Because a culture that worships individual winning over collective well-being, community well-being, has no real foundation for trust to begin with. When your whole psyche is dog eat dog, I got to get mine, every man for himself. Well, what kind of a trust can there even be between people when all of the people have that mentality? Trust requires believing that the other person has some kind of a genuine interest in your well-being, in your welfare, not just their own. It requires some mutual obligation, some sense that we're all in this together. Well, those are not American values. You talk about it like it is, but it's not. The American value is look out for yourself. Nobody is coming to save you. You shouldn't trust anybody. The system is rigged. And if you don't try to rig the system in your favor first, then someone else is going to rig it against you. Dog eat dog. So the collapse of social trust across the society, that shouldn't surprise anyone. It shouldn't be shocking to anyone. It would be shocking if it didn't happen. No, it's the natural outcome that American culture was always heading toward. It's the only place it can head toward. You understand? Like I say, a culture produces certain results. That's what I'm telling you. And these are the results that your culture produces. So you don't have now a population that understands civics, that understands the mechanisms of government, that understands the political system. You have a population that does not trust its own institutions, that doesn't even trust each other. So I don't even know how you can be talking about trying to build a revolutionary resistance movement, a mass movement, with those ingredients. No, you cannot possibly build any sort of a effective resistance movement, not a real one, not one that lasts, not one that holds together when under pressure, out of people who do not fundamentally even trust each other. You can't build a resistance movement that is actually effective out of a people who do not even understand how the system that they are opposing, how that system even works. Look, between 1967 and 1993, the average number of organizations and groups and what have you, associations that Americans belong to, talking about clubs and unions and religious organizations, civic organizations, neighborhood groups and whatnot, that number fell approximately 1/4, 25%, across all income and all educational layers across the United States. We're talking about manifestations of group solidarity, manifestations of group cohesion, manifestations of group organizing. Okay, this is where mass movements come from. You understand me? These are the building blocks of any sort of grassroots mobilization. Union membership, labor union membership in the 1950s accounted for over 32% of American workers. Well, in 2026, it's less than 11%. You know, there was a book several years ago, I think in the year 2000, called Bowling Alone. Bowling Alone, and it talked about the decline of American community groups, American membership in community groups. The author talked about how Americans were still going to bowling alleys, but without any leagues, without any teams, without any opponents, without any community, just showing up at the bowling alley and bowling alone and going home alone. That's why he called the book Bowling Alone. Now, I know that sounds insignificant, people bowling by themselves, but it's a cultural indicator. Isolation, atomization. You don't do things together. You don't gather. You don't cooperate. You don't organize. Even for recreation. Even for recreation. You don't organize or gather or do things together. You don't make teams. Every successful mass movement in history was built on pre-existing organizational infrastructure that was already there. Okay? The civil rights movement didn't just appear out of nowhere. It wasn't just a spontaneous eruption of activism. It was built on the Black church. It was built on the HBCU network. It was built on decades of the NAACP chapters in every city around the country. The labor movement of the 1930s was built on over 40 years of prior organizing. And like I say, even by the 1950s, they had only reached 32 or so percent of workers joining unions. All of the independence movements of the Global South were built on existing community structures, built on religious networks, built on tribal cohesion and loyalty and solidarity and so forth. You cannot possibly build a mass movement from scratch just at the moment that you need it. No, the infrastructure has to already exist. The relationships must already be there. The trust must have already been built. You understand me? And America has spent the last 50 years systematically dismantling that infrastructure. And now people need it. Now you need it, and now it's not there. And you don't even know how to rebuild it. You don't have the skills to rebuild it. And in fact, you're not even inclined to do that work in the first place. You don't like people. You don't like each other. You don't socialize. You want the benefits of group solidarity. You want the benefits of organization that organization can provide. You want those benefits without making the sacrifices and without doing the work to build what brings those benefits. Like I say, you don't even like each other. You don't trust each other. You just want to put your headphones on and zone out. You want to tune everyone out. You don't even want to communicate with people face to face. You just want to message people remotely. You get frightened if someone gives you a call. You want to just recede into a cocoon with your headphones on and emerge out into a world that has been made better by everyone else. Meanwhile, everyone else is doing the same thing that you are. So, yes, social distrust, organizational dissolution, civic illiteracy, isolation, increasing isolation. And that's why that worker in California can't find anything else to do about his discontent than to set the place on fire. This is not a coincidence. This is what I'm telling you. This is what your culture produces. This is what the system that your culture produced, this is what that system produces. Fragmented people are easier to manage. People who distrust each other cannot organize. People who don't join anything cannot sustain anything, any sort of a movement. People who have no collective institutional life have no collective institutional power. You understand me? And a culture that has always prioritized individual success over collective welfare, like I say, it produces individuals who do not build together, who do not maintain what they built together, and who end up having nothing to hold on to together when everything starts to fall apart. Your society, your culture, your system produces this kind of results. Your value system, your priority system produces these kinds of results. You're never going to get different kinds of results as long as you have that value system in that culture. Okay? This all goes to understanding the context that you live in, like I was talking about. You have to understand what your culture is. You have to understand what you made your culture and what your culture made you, because it's self-reinforcing. The culture forms around you, and then once it has been formed, when that culture has been formed, the culture helps to form you and your succeeding generations. And you create a system, or your culture creates a system that operates according to the culture. The system operates according to the culture, and it enforces the culture's priorities. And then this creates outcomes. It creates or it generates outputs. And you are the outputs of the system. You are the outputs of that culture. And the nature of that culture and the nature of that system is that it creates unsustainability. I mean, that whole the whole nature of that zero-sum mentality, that last man standing, dog eat dog mentality, the way that your culture operates means that it's going to destroy you. There's no other way for it to go. It makes the population, it makes you as a population incapable of resisting or changing the system. Now, I don't mean that the system can't be changed. And I don't mean that the system can't be resisted. I mean that you are not capable of that, because you're the product, you're the output of a system that only produces what cannot resist or change it. Do you understand me? Meaning they have deliberately produced an incompetent population, incompetent in terms of any of the qualities or any of the attributes or any of the skills that would be required, that would be needed, what would be necessary in order to effectively oppose the system.
Now you see.
Like, for example,
Now you see. Is he lying? That is exactly what they've done. That's exactly what has happened. And that's exactly why they can mobilize a movement, is because they knew how to unmobilize movements. You see how they could get those people out there? They could come out tomorrow and talk about some damn what they don't give a whatever it is. Them people will be out there. It could be what is it? The No Kings protest. Those people will be out there. It could be anti what police move, anything. They can mobilize those people because they immobilized everybody. It's simple. I mean, what he just broke down, I mean, he broke that shit down ridiculously easy. And this is the problem. I mean, it's sort of like, you got to look around and see. Ain't never. There's nothing that's you can't. It's just it just is what it is. You can't do nothing. They already deprogrammed, docile, dumbed down. I mean, this is what it is, man. It's crazy.
lack of understanding about your own required, that would be needed, what would be necessary in order to effectively oppose the system. Like, for example, your lack of understanding about your own political system. They made you like that. Your distrust of your institutions, your distrust of each other. They made you like that.
And remember what I was
Oh,
saying? Remember what I was saying about how we should have been in the damn politics because we don't understand the political system, right? We don't. The whole truth around we don't. Because why? What do we do? Fuck that. It was just stupid, you know. But that's what they wanted us to do. They put us out of the way because maybe we did have that ability at one point. You know, they had to figure it out. I'm telling you, man, this entity is the entity obviously knows the energy it's dealt with before to deal with it now. This entity has done this repeatedly in history. So they know what needs to be done. That's what people fail to realize. I mean, I can go a lot, deep with that, but I'm just saying, I mean, what else is it? How could they be so perfect on doing this? And believe me, it is perfected. I'm sitting back like, how? How did they come out and tell you after they disrupted everybody's life with COVID-19 to just one day just live with it like a cold? I was like, I'll never forget that day. I was like, wait a minute, this place should be on fire, not a peep. Nobody cares, you know? Don't let me pull the pictures up. Don't let me go ahead and pull the pictures up. Oh, I still got them on here. Oh man, I think I took them off. I think I took them off here, man. Yeah, took them off. I took them off. But anyways,
like, for example, your lack of understanding about your own political system. They made you like that. Your distrust of your institutions, your distrust of each other. They made you like that. Okay? Also, your cognitive abilities. Let's be honest. Your cognitive abilities. Because before you can organize, before you can build trust with people, before you can sustain any kind of collective effort over time, well, you have to be able to think. You have to be able to think. You have to be able to hold a complex problem in your mind long enough to work it through. You have to be able to endure difficulty for the sake of your cause without immediately reaching for something to make the discomfort stop. You understand? And there is a serious body of research that says that this cognitive capacity in large percentage of the American population, and increasingly in populations across the Western world, this cognitive capacity is being systematically degraded. I said systematically, not by accident, systematically by design degraded. All of the apps that you use, all the platforms that you use every day, all your social media feeds, right? All the short form videos that you watch, the TikTok, the doom scrolling and whatnot. This is all designed to capture your attention and hold your attention as long as possible, keep you on that platform for as long as possible, because your attention is the product that's being sold to advertisers, right? They want to have you there. They want to capture your attention. But they don't hold your attention by increasing your ability to pay attention. You do it by giving people novelty, continuously new things, something new every 3 seconds, something outrageous, something that triggers you, something that stimulates you, something that activates any sort of an emotional reaction. Doesn't matter what, anger, amusement, shock, lust, desire, anything. And then they'll show you something else immediately. It's just a continuous loop of micro attention getting images. Do you know the average person who's on their device, they switch between different tasks, between different screens, between different tabs once every 47 seconds. Okay, in the early 2000s, that number was about once every 2.5 minutes. So the window of sustained focus has been cut by more than half within just one generation. Just 26 years ago, people were able to focus twice as long as they're able to focus now. Your mental focus is basically like popping popcorn at this point. Okay, so think about what genuine political organizing actually requires, what it would require of you. It requires the ability to read long documents, long papers, and understand them, process them in your mind. You have to be able to sit in meetings for 2 hours, 3 hours, and stay engaged the whole time. You have to be able to keep your mind focused on a strategic framework for what you're doing across weeks, across months, and maybe years. You have to be able to delay gratification. You have to be able to work towards a goal that you may not see any visible results for, any outcome for years to come, maybe decades. You have to be able to tolerate the frustration of having very complex problems, very complex issues to solve that don't have simple answers. You can't do that. You're in no position to do that. I mean, I've been talking now for a long time, and by the time this gets uploaded onto the internet, I know that most of the people are not going to be able to sit through it all. You're either going to put it on 2x speed, or you're just going to skip through, or you're just going to listen for the first couple of sentences that I say, 2 or 3 minutes, maybe maximum, and then you're going to click out. Sometimes I deliberately extend these talks precisely to filter out people who have no kind of attention span, because you're practically useless. There's no reason for you to be here, because you're never going to be able to understand anything that I'm saying. You'll never understand anything that I'm talking about.
Hold on.
And you're never going to do anything.
Okay.
You'll
Now listen to this part, because this shit happens to me almost on a daily basis if I'm talking to somebody.
never do anything practically in the real world. And if you can make it to the end of any relatively long talk and actually listen to that talk from start to finish without clicking in and out while you're going through, okay, that means that you have a very different level of mind than most of the people in your society. If you're a Westerner, if you're an American, I see the analytics on the channel. I know how long most people last on any given video before their attention span caves and they click away. Understand, I'm not talking about exotic, strange skills here. The ability to pay attention to just one thing, to just one task, to just one talk or lecture or article or topic for longer than just a few seconds. This isn't some kind of unreasonable, superhuman expectation. These are basic cognitive prerequisites for collective action. And these are the exact skills that a diet of short form content, doom scrolling, infinite doom scrolling, and algorithmically curated impulse activation, it systematically erodes those capabilities. And the research on this is also very clear that the effects of social media is not evenly distributed. They fall the hardest on the younger people and on people in poorer communities. It falls hardest on people who have less access to the types of environmental conditions that can potentially protect them against any sort of cognitive fragmentation. Quieter environments, they have more autonomy over their time, education that builds the ability to have some sort of a sustained attention span and so forth. These are the communities that are generally deprived of those conditions. So they are the most negatively impacted. So we're talking about the people who actually have the most need to organize, the most need to understand the world, the people who have the most grievances in your society, who have the most skin in the game, who have the most urgent reason to try to build some sort of collective power. These are the people who are the most negatively impacted by the social media cognitive sabotage that makes it impossible for them or extremely difficult for them to maintain any sort of strategic thinking. And then there's the whole information problem on top of the attention span problem, because it's not just that people can't focus. It's not just that they can't focus. It's that even the information that they consume, the information environment that they live in, has become itself so fragmented, so tribalized, so algorithmically sorted by what confirms existing beliefs rather than by what's true and what's factual, that you have large portions of the population that are operating from completely incompatible versions of reality. Yes, everyone.
This is really, really deep in it. And this is really deep what he's about to say, and important, because this is what the truth community is. This is it right here. And this is why other people don't know what the hell is even going on. Like I said, the thing about the auditors think that that shit is for them. It affects them, but for them to say it's directly because of us is no, it's not. And say, oh, we don't put the camera, we don't dox people. No, they're not talking about you, man. They're talking about those fucking leftist lunatic liberals where there's hundreds of videos of them doing that shit. They do dox police. You know how I know? Because I dwell inside of the Facebook groups to watch that shit. And it simply blows my fucking mind what I see in the MAGA ones, the liberal ones. It is, that's why I come on here the way I do, because I can't, I mean, these groups have 300,000 people in it, 400,000, 500,000, 10,000, 5,000. And the shit that I see people talking about is simply, I just like, if I was like a brain dead sheep flock fuck dummy, I'd be used to it, but I never can get used to like just wrongness. I just can't. But just listen, this is the truth community right here.
People who are the most negatively impacted by the social media cognitive sabotage that makes it impossible for them or extremely difficult for them to maintain any sort of strategic thinking. And then there's the whole information problem on top of the attention span problem, because it's not just that people can't focus. It's not just that they can't focus. It's that even the information that they consume, the information environment that they live in, has become itself so fragmented, so tribalized, so algorithmically sorted by what confirms existing beliefs rather than by what's true and what's factual, that you have large portions of the population that are operating from completely incompatible versions of reality. Yes, everyone exists in their own little bubble. Everyone exists in their own little enclave. And this isn't the same as people just having different political opinions. That's fine. That's normal. That's normal and that's manageable. You can navigate that. But we're talking about people having completely different conceptions of reality itself, different versions of history, different, basic understandings of what's actually happening in the world. Well, you can't build a coalition with someone when you cannot even agree what the problem is and whether the world is round or flat. You understand what I'm saying? You know that experience. I know you must know that experience. When you're talking to someone, right? You're having a conversation with someone and it seems to be going well. You seem to be agreeing. You seem to be genuinely communicating, right? Building something in the conversation. And then suddenly they say something that is completely out of left field that makes you realize that nothing that has been said, nothing that you have said, has been processed in their mind the way that you thought it was, the way that it would be processed.
Now that right there, I mean, that all is true. But what he just said there about how you could talk to somebody, I've been in deep conversations with people, and they get it. They're going, and we're going back and forth, blah, 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 and then they do exactly what the fuck he just said, and you like, this motherfucker didn't even listen. To myself, I'm like, this motherfucker's not even listening to nothing I'm fucking saying, and that's where we are. You can't even communicate with people anymore. Because they're like, yeah, I don't listen to it. And this just, I mean, I go through this shit all the fucking time, man.
Completely out of left field that makes you realize that nothing that has been said, nothing that you have said, has been processed in their mind the way that you thought it was, the way that it would be processed by someone that you consider normal. Like, say you're talking about Gaza or you're talking about Congo, you're talking about Iran, or you're talking about something even mundane. And then suddenly they bring it all back to like, it's all about the chlorine in the water supply. Or Michael Jackson tried to warn us about that, or some such nonsense. No, collective action requires, at its foundation, a shared understanding of the situation that you're all in. You understand? A common reading of what's actually happening and why. You don't need to agree on everything, but you need enough shared common ground to be able to stand together on, and you don't have that. You don't have that common ground. What you have is a vast assortment of ideological cliques. All of the common ground, all of the shared ground has been eaten away, and it has not been eaten away by natural, normal, organic disagreement. It has largely been eaten away by digital environments that are specifically engineered to keep people maximally divided, because divided people are more engaged. Divided people are more reactive, and divided people are more profitable as an audience, and they are more easily categorized for targeted marketing by advertisers. You understand? The same culture that worships individual winning, like I keep saying, that worships individual winning over collective flourishing, collective welfare, built an information economy that profits from conflict, profits from hate, profits from outrage, profits from the perpetual ideological war between different factions and different cults, online cults, who can no longer see each other as relatable enough to even work together, even on a problem that they share. You understand me? No one can think deeply. No one can even think for themselves. No one can even hold a thought about anything, deep or shallow, for very long whatsoever, because your attention spans are so short. You all occupy these little isolated containers of opinion, and you baste in it, and you soak it in until there's nothing left in your mind. There's nothing in your mind except whatever you have absorbed. Whatever you have absorbed. And there's nothing in your mind that your own brain generated, that your own brain processed. And that makes your own thinking incredibly superficial. Because anyway, at the end of the day, it's not your thinking. I mean, think about the fact that if you look at every major resistance campaign in the world between the year 1900 and 2026, that's roughly 300 or so resistance campaigns around the world. And then you compare the ones that succeeded versus the ones that failed, you'll find that in that period, what you could call nonviolent campaigns succeeded roughly 53% of the time, and violent campaigns succeeded only 26% of the time. And every campaign that was able to achieve active participation by just 3.5% of the population, without exception, those campaigns succeeded. Okay, this has been studied for that period between 1900 and 2000. 3.5% of the American population is roughly just 11 million people. So theoretically, that should be achievable. But the success rate of nonviolent resistance has been rapidly declining since 2010. In the 1990s, it was roughly 65% success rate. Now it's only around 34%. So basically, the effectiveness of nonviolent resistance movements has been cut in half in just the last 30 years or so. Now, as I said before, I am neither for or against nonviolence on the basis of moral principle. I'm not for nonviolence on the basis of moral principle. I am for whatever is both justified and whatever is effective. If it's justified but not effective, then I don't support that. And if it is effective but not justified, then I am against that, regardless of what the tactics are. I'm not married to any sort of tactic. You understand me? So for about 100 years or so, nonviolence has been shown to be effective, or at least to be more effective as a resistance tactic than violence. And if you bother to think about that, then that success rate should tell you something about the society in which it succeeded. And it should tell you something about the people who made it succeed. Because a nonviolent resistance movement has a lot of prerequisites that have to be there in order for that resistance movement to work, in order for nonviolence to work. Which means that historically, those prerequisites existed in those societies and with those people. But like I said, over the last 30 years or so, that has been changing, at least in terms of the effectiveness of nonviolent resistance, which is not the same thing as saying that violent resistance has become more effective. No, it's saying that nonviolent resistance has become less effective. Or put another way, resistance period has become less effective overall. And I think that there are at least two reasons for this. There are at least two reasons why any sort of resistance movement has become less effective. First of all, governments have learned. Governments have learned, and they no longer primarily use brute force on the streets to repress people. They use other forms, more sophisticated forms of preemptive forms of repression, targeted surveillance, everything that we've been talking about today, financial deplatforming, legal prosecution, and so forth. Infiltration of organizations and so forth, character assassination, black PR campaigns, and what have you, okay? So they dismantle opposition movements by these other means, which do not create the same backlash that brutal police tactics, tanks, and water cannons and whatnot in the street that would generate. But the second reason that I think this has happened, and this is the main reason in my opinion, is that the movements themselves have become more shallow. Modern social movements, modern political movements, particularly in the West, are able to mobilize faster because of social media. They're able to mobilize faster through, viral content and whatnot, calls to action and so forth, and through shared outrage online. And they're able to get large numbers of people in the street for a day, for a weekend, maybe for a week, but then they dissolve. There's no sustained structure. There's no strategic patience. There's no long-term organizational depth to what they're doing. You just jump from one issue to another. And we've seen this just in the last couple of months. We've seen this. It's the same way that you scroll social media, just jump from one thing to another. The form of resistance that the American culture can naturally generate or will naturally generate is going to be emotionally driven, but organizationally shallow. And it's going to be short lived. It's going to be precisely the kind of resistance or mobilization that is the least capable of winning against a sophisticated and adaptable power structure. And yes, the truth of the matter is that your mobilization and your activism is very often, if not usually, performative. Because again, you produce a certain kind of people in your society. You produce a certain kind of people. Your culture, your so-called civilization produces a certain type of population. You are both the product of and you are the carriers of your dysfunctional culture. And you lack moral depth. You lack moral clarity. You lack conviction. You lack commitment. You are not rooted in any sort of a mature value system. And this has been getting worse and worse very rapidly over the course of just the last 3 to 4 decades, which is to say, actually, that the full weight of what your culture is gaining momentum on you. The weight is gaining momentum because you're in a state of civilizational decline. You know, it's like those big shipping trucks, right? Those big Mack trucks. They're coming like when you see one of those big Mack trucks coming down a mountain with no brakes. The gravitational load of what you are carrying is bearing down upon you. And understand, okay, I'm calling it deterioration. I'm calling it decline. But what we're actually talking about here, the truth is, we're just talking about the removal of pretense. Yes, what's deteriorating is the filter. What's dissolving is the mask. Your society isn't changing. It's not getting worse. They're just doing less and less to pretend to be what they're not. That's the cold, hard truth. Because the reality, like I said, is that your society is not a civilized society. It's an anti-civilization society. It is not a mature society. Your culture is not a civilized or sophisticated culture. That's the truth. Your value system is not deep. Your value system is not layered. It's primitive. It's primitive and it's predatory and it's violent. And increasingly, you are not even bothering to pretend now to be otherwise. That's the only thing that's changing. That's the only thing that's changing. You know how when a system is running low, when the battery is dying on a device or a computer or a phone or what have you, when the battery is dying, uh, the system will start to shut down non-crucial functions. That's what you're doing. That's what you're doing. That's what your society is doing. You're shutting down everything that's extra, all the bells and whistles of moral performance. You're shutting all that down, the moral, principled, virtuous screensaver and whatnot, because your civilizational battery is dying. Your civilizational battery is dying. So now you started to jettison all of the decorative, pretty displays and all the pretty talk about morality and ethics and principles and whatnot. And now you're acting more openly. You're acting now without the camouflage. You've taken off the camouflage. Now you're acting without the spin, without the PR. And you're acting more openly like the primitive law of the jungle predators that you are. And you're throwing all of those great, beautiful Enlightenment values and all those great, beautiful, noble institutions that are supposed to represent all those great, wonderful, beautiful Enlightenment values. You're throwing all of that under the bus. Like you can't be bothered anymore. Everything is coming out in the open now. Everything is coming out in the open. You're saying, yes, we're barbarians. Because Americans believe in violence, morally, culturally, and at the level of identity. Like I said, it's in the creation story. It's in the creation story of America, the conquest of the continent. It's in the popular culture, like I've talked about many times. Every conflict in your movies is resolved through force and violence.
All right. There's another what? There's another 13 minutes, but I'm gonna ride. Good night. I'm gonna wind it on down. But shout out to everybody. It's good. Exorcism AI Golem 96. So shout out to everybody who stopped in and tuned in. And yeah, man, it's just it's where it's at, guys. Nothing else I can say, but it's where it's at. It's where it's going. And as time goes on, it's getting worse. People's mentality are getting worse. It's faster. Like, I don't know. I had a conversation with a couple people in the past couple days. Like, people are gone. There really are. You got an outside world. You run into more normalized people, but as long as keep it in a certain way, but it's not what these people are doing. I wish I had time to play the other video of he broke down what was going on. There's a 4-part series, whatever. That was part 4. But yeah, anyways, I'm about to get up off here. But yeah, until next time, much love everybody, and I'm out.
So, when you hear me speak and the things I say, I'm speaking to my people.
If you ask me, I'll tell you what is wrong with the world. We're being desensitized from the things we should feel. Living our lives in these times while we suffer inside, and we can't see the problems because the masses are blind. Let's try and find a solution. We're not helping ourselves. We're walking around unattached and disconnected from self. Too comfortable and too scared. That's why we never rebel. That's why we catch me writing rhymes and trying to balance the scales. Put car on the roads. It seems like dawn of the dead. Zombies, robots, lemons being misled. It's like we're sheep to the slaughterhouse on the conveyor belt, about to self-destruct because we're under a spell. We search for purpose, but nothing ever surfaces. We need to be accountable because we're deserving this. Alarm bells are ringing, but it's like you refuse to wake up. Subconsciously you're hitting on the snooze. You're sleepwalking. It's just another day in this world while we're living under the spell. You're sleepwalking. When you travel through realms, just make sure you prevail. Elevate for yourself. You need to stop sleepwalking. We're blinded by the rubbish and glamorized materials. Imperialism has got us fearing rules, and tired of these rappers rapping about their cars and jewels. If you take a step back, they will define buffoons. The saddest thing is that they're in the minds of all the children. They keep our money motivated and that's how they kill them. But do we care? No. Young money's here. That's why I aim this 2 inches above your earlobe, so we can all start pulling in the same direction. Cause it seems to me like we've lost that connection. Man, you've sold your soul, so you show no affection. Get to know yourself and love your reflection. It's like your brain's a phone and you got no reception. Arm your mind with knowledge, use it as a weapon. Alarm bells are ringing, but it's like you refuse to wake up. Subconsciously you're hitting on the snooze. You're sleepwalking. It's just another day in this world while we're living under the spell. You're sleepwalking. When you travel through realms, just make sure you prevail. Elevate for yourself. You need to stop sleepwalking.
There has to be some accountability. You have to have some self-account. You have to say for yourself, what am I going to do that's right for me, man? When am I going to take ownership for what I do to me and my people?